It's springtime. Let's talk about heartworms and heartworm prevention for dogs and cats.
Yes, let's. This is one of my favorite things to chat about. So my roommate in vet school, she adopted a dog our first year, a little German Shepherd girl named Winnie. And unfortunately, she tested positive for heartworms. Definitely an experience that I'm grateful to have helping care for a dog undergoing heartworm treatment. Because it was not easy. It is a long, tough, and not very cheap process that requires a lot of energy and emotion from you as an owner and from the pet themselves. And so it was just going through that myself, I hope reflects to my clients that I understand that this is tough. And if we have to go through that process of treatment together, we'll get through it together. But if we can prevent this with the preventative meds that we have, that is going to be our best case. And I share that as somebody who's been through it. So just a little tidbit that I wanted to share about having gone through it myself.
What is heartworm disease and how do dogs get it?
Yep. So great question. It is our lovely, lovely little friend mosquitoes. Unfortunately, we have no lack of those around this area. So I know that we've all been outside and, you come in and 6 mosquito bites later, you're like, how did that happen? I was outside for 3 minutes. So what basically happens is a mosquito will bite an infected dog. They basically will take that infection and pass it along to the next dog that they bite. Once they bite them, it puts it into their bloodstream. And from then, there's about a 6 or 7 month process of the heartworms reaching maturity in the dog's body. They live in the heart and the lungs, and they end up growing to be like tapeworms is the best way I can describe it. They are very gnarly little creatures, and they cause damage in the heart and the lungs. And so it's definitely something that is way easier to prevent than to treat. And it is unfortunately something that even our kiddos that spend most of their time indoors can get. I joke, but not joke, that I got bit in my bed by a mosquito the other night. And so there's no off limits for them.
So if your dog is on a med, then they have nothing to transfer to other dogs and they can't get anything from an infected mosquito because they're on the preventive treatments.
Exactly.
Exactly. Talk about our kitty cat friends. Can feline friends get heartworm disease?
Yes. Another great question and another great topic that I love talking to owners about. Cats can also get heartworm disease. It is more rare when in comparison to dogs, but unfortunately, on the cat side of things, the way that it affects them, we don't have the same treatments that we do for dogs. And so if we do have a cat with heartworm disease, we are supporting them as much as we can, but dogs have a cure and cats we do not.
Oh, that's super interesting because I was about to ask what are symptoms and treatments. So for cats, symptoms
are going to usually be like respiratory type things. So more labored breathing, maybe they're not wanting to exercise as much as they used to. Those are generally going to be what they present with on the cat side of things. And unfortunately, like I said, there's no real treatment to cure the heartworms. We treat their symptoms and we keep them as comfortable for as long as we can. But for dogs, symptoms can range anywhere from not knowing, and we run a yearly test and it shows up positive, to kind of the same. We can have coughing, we can have exercise intolerance. So maybe we used to love going on 2-mile runs and now we make it like half a mile and we're like, don't want to do that anymore. We can see like labored breathing when they're at rest. So a lot of things that can mimic other signs of other diseases. And for our canine friends, luckily, there are treatment options. We have a pretty strict protocol that we follow that's put out by the American Heartworm Society. So there's a whole society for these things. And it's pretty grueling. It involves a few different kinds of drugs, some injections to kill the heartworms themselves. But we see really good success with it. And these guys will come out on the other side and we keep them on prevention for the rest of their life and they live long, happy lives.
All right, that's really good to know. Thanks for the summary. We appreciate it.